you are not that kind of craftsperson. So he's making this very interesting claim here, that there's this strict speaking sense of crafts that's different from our sort of conventional sense of professions. And that's something that you have exactly insofar as you have the knowledge. And insofar as you make mistakes, you are not even that type of craftsperson. So strictly speaking, doctors can't make mistakes. Strictly speaking, carpenters can't make mistakes. Strictly speaking, generals can't make mistakes, and so forth. And this is where Thrasymachus will challenge the claim of Cleitophon and Polemarchus. And what he'll say is, no, I don't want to change my definition that way. What I want to say is that a ruler is only a ruler insofar as he, I don't think he's considering she rulers here, as insofar as he makes no mistakes, insofar as he actually rules. So a ruler is only a ruler insofar as he is able to actually put his advantage into law. So justice, it turns out, for Thrasymachus, is a kind of craft of exploiting people. You are only really a ruler insofar as you are able to put your advantage into law. And the side of this is that it's only justice, it's only really justice, if you are following laws put into place by true rulers. So true rulership is truly putting your own advantage into law without making mistakes, and true justice is truly following law that has been put into place by a true ruler. So justice then, so true rulership then, is a kind of craft of exploitation. And justice, on the other hand, is a kind of craft, is a kind of being truly exploited. Right? You know, it's not just that someone's trying to exploit you and failing. No, they're only, when you are successfully exploited is when you are truly just. So he actually does not take the route, the kind of easy route in a way, and Polemarchus suggests. He actually comes up with this very interesting thesis about what it means to be a ruler, and a true ruler. And so a true ruler is someone who truly has the craft of ruling. And it's interesting because in a way he's abandoned his completely descriptive use. Remember the last definition sounded pretty descriptive. Yes, it is the case that societies have different rules. Those rules are put into place by rulers. That's what everyone calls justice. That's justice. Right? It's entirely descriptive. Now he's got a more normative sense of justice. Justice is a craft that can be successful or that is successful when it's really that craft. And so you can actually say that there are certain rulers who are successful rulers and unsuccessful rulers and so forth. Normativity that's getting built back into this. It's not just some sort of descriptive moral relativism again. Now I wonder why he took this route, kind of a guess, but I think that Thrasymachus, part of what the sophists were promising was to teach people to actually be strong, not just think they're strong. He's trying to teach people to have actual virtues, actual ability to control people. That's sort of the kind of virtue he's talking about. And so he doesn't want to admit, I think, that these kind of rulers that he's hoping to help train could make mistakes. I think he wants to say, no, I'm not trying to teach people how to seem powerful. I'm trying to teach them how to be powerful. I think that might be what's going on in his mind. It's hard to know. I mean, you're talking about a fictional character, or a semi-fictional character anyway. But that might be what's going on in his head. Just a thought. Any questions about that? Yes?
I don't understand. Is he trying to say that like a profession is only a craft if the person is perfect and never makes a mistake? Like, would anybody agree that there's perfection?
That's a good question. I think it might be the case that I think he uses this insofar as language. Right? So it's not that there's doctor up here and then nothing below. It's more like you can be a bit of a doctor, you know how to put a Band-Aid on, right? And then there's more and more and more up until perfection, right? And you are a doctor insofar as you have those capacities. Okay. But what you would also say is you are not a doctor insofar as you lack those capacities. So, the craftsperson, which you are partly, right?
Is at the top of the chain.
Yeah, it's kind of the ideal of it, or the form of it in some way, right? It's a good question, because I don't think he really believes, or any of the...
Somebody can't make a mistake, right?
I don't think he believes that there are perfect physicians out there. I think what he's trying to say is that being a craftsperson is a matter of having a certain amount of knowledge, and so that's a matter of degree. But we would say that insofar as you are that craftsperson, that kind of ideal craftsperson, you can't make a mistake. Does that make sense? So the ideal isn't a real thing that could happen or a real thing that exists in the world. It's kind of a theoretical ideal you use to evaluate.
I guess you could say if you're well, you don't have to be a perfect doctor, but if you're the best doctor in the world who makes the least amount of mistakes, then I guess you could be the craftsperson, right? Because there's nobody up to your standard.
Well, I don't think so. I think the standard is a kind of definitional standard, right? Which is having the power to cure through knowledge. Someone who has the power to cure through knowledge. And that's something that you can talk about the perfect extreme of that, which is someone who has the power to cure everything with knowledge. Now, that doesn't have to exist for you to have that idea. And that is the ideal doctor. It's just that ideal doctor doesn't really exist. The greatest doctor in the world, who can cure a lot of things, but not everything, is as close as we have to that ideal on Earth, but it's not that ideal. He really does hold this exclusive view. Yeah.
So I just want to clarify. So insofar as would not be the same as if and only if.
No, that's right. It's not. No. Insofar as means you have exactly as much of that as you have. You have exactly as much of P as you have of Q, or something like that. Right? So you are a doctor in exactly as much as you have the power to cure. Because that's just the definition. The definition of a doctor is someone who cures through knowledge. That knowledge is not. You're not a doctor.
Oh, so like the more the rules make justice to be a vice, the better of a ruler they are, kind of thing.
Yes, basically yes. The more they're able to put their advantage into law, the better they are at exploiting people. The more they are the rulers. And the perfect ruler, right, like the perfect doctor, would be the one who is able to completely put his advantage into law. That's how it works. So it's kind of this, you're right, it is a weird and idealistic, idealistic is the wrong word, ideal standard, right? It's kind of, we have this definition of doctor, someone who cures through knowledge. No one actually meets that as a perfectly, right? This is interesting. All right, well, I'm going to let you go on a break. When we get back, we'll talk about Socrates' responsiveness.